3, 2, 1, go. What's going on, guys? This is Brett, and welcome to the third episode of the ASL podcast. Today, we are doing a special tag lock episode, as you guys have been seeing going up on the channel for the past 2 weeks. We have TCP here. Say hello.
Hello, it's me, TCP.
We have Melone here again.
My name's Jed.
And we have some very special guests from the tag lock team. We have Peaches.
Hello.
And then we have the person
That's it.
No, and then we have the
no one
person
else.
who brought up the idea to Melone to do the tag lock. We have big boy Matt here with us.
Hello.
And it's not the new ASL coach, Matt.
I'm
It's
not
the other
gross.
Matt.
It's the other Matt. Matt pushes buttons every day,
Zombie Matt. It's the worst.
honestly.
Whoa.
I've rebranded.
There's definitely worse Matts than you, Matt.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know a
like
few
Graham.
Matts. Like, I know a lot of Matts. You don't even know.
I
But
didn't get kicked out of the ASL. That's a common name.
going into the tag lock, guys, what did you guys like initially expect to come out of it? Did you think we would like last very long, or what did you guys think of
Well,
it?
when I went into it, I expected to be like part 7 or part 8.
Yeah, I was gonna
No.
be like a different.
I was originally part 8, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, people are gonna rely on me to get it to the end.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure you could find a message. Like, are we talking about the order or the actual idea of the
the
tag
order,
lock?
like the original order before it got reset because of things happening.
I think I ended up being 4th. I was supposed to be like 6th. Like I was supposed to have Brad's part with all the surfing and stuff,
Yeah.
which probably would have taken like 10 hours of footage from me just like doing
I mean,
literally
doesn't
every
fit-
little thing. So that's probably for the best.
I mean, Brad had like 10 hours of footage.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's really a pain to edit. You have no idea.
Hey, how was mine? Mine was 50 minutes.
Yours was fine, Matt. Yours took like maybe 2 hours.
I will say, after the parts that were like 15 minutes, the next person to take over was always screwed over, one way or another.
Basically.
Like-
Who was after me?
Peach was after you, and
Are you talking about how I didn't grind anything?
My
yeah,
team was in fine condition.
Okay, technically I grinded the egg, but yeah, I was like I didn't waste my time with that.
So it's not my fault at all.
I'd like to say I predicted Melone to lose us the tag lock.
I did too. Okay?
Wow.
There's like
Wow.
nothing special about.
Wait, didn't Cody predict it too?
Calling,
lot of
yeah,
people-
yeah, Cody did.
Of all people to
Prediction,
lose the
Malone
tag
was
lock,
where it
wouldn't
is.
I make the most sense?
Yeah. I
Like,
logically
yeah, like, it's
saw
not-
3
It's like I did. I predicted that I would lose. That's 3 people
like
at
I
least.
of the original order, I realistically saw 3 outcomes. Either we won, Malone lost, or TCP would lose, and that was because he was the Elite Four.
I could see that.
If I got it to Bash, if I somehow,
Oh, bad.
if I didn't get hacked, which I probably would have lost to the gym anyways. I don't know. I don't know if Bash was gonna make it.
I mean, all ground
I
types
mean-
is really bad for our team.
Well, I mean, it's
anyway.
not. It's nothing against Bash. It's just he'd have had to grind a lot.
Didn't, or I mean, but that's like doable.
Yeah.
I mean, the main thing is like we had Tyranitar. I forget what else was on the.
Garbage. It was just garbage.
Hey.
It was Tyranitar.
Yeah,
Alright,
it
well,
was-
Tyranitar plus garbage. That's like most OU teams. Like that. That
There's
could
an
be something.
Articuno. Articuno.
We
is-
didn't get much. We didn't get that many good things.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll explain the situation when we talk about my situation at the end. But
Whenever we first started,
Anyways.
the 3 starter choices that were initially come up, I got to choose the starter because I was the first episode. But the
Rigged.
starter choices were Pachirisu, Rhyperior, and Ammonite. Do you think
Right,
Rhyperior?
inferior. Why?
You didn't choose Almanite? Why?
But those were the 3
I do
starter
love
choices.
Peach.
And
Ammonite would've
what
taken
what would you guys have picked?
I would have gone right here too.
I would have
There-
gone Pachirisu.
Realistically,
Hello?
there's only one option there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Superior.
Yeah,
mean,
because
Yeah.
Pachyrisa
inferior.
doesn't evolve. Like,
I would.
Pachyrisa
Neither does Rhyperior.
I mean, just having like what, like base like around 500 total.
But yeah,
Mhm.
Rhyperior was the best choice.
Just having
Yeah.
so much stats in the early game is just so powerful.
yeah,
But
he didn't have
his
any good
moveset is
moves
so
though
bad.
until way later on. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the problem with that line.
Way
They have,
later
like,
on.
normal moves until like level like mid-20s.
Yeah.
No, it's not even mid-20s. It's more. He doesn't learn a rock type move till like 28.
But I
Yeah,
will
that's
say
like mid-20s. Close enough.
something I did in like all of my parts was I threw a lot of shade at the people beforehand, and I definitely threw a lot of shade at you, Brett. Brett,
Yeah, I know. I heard it.
why are you? How did you miss so many encounters? Like,
I can't. Okay, whenever you're trying to catch these things and all you have are Pokeballs and you have limited money, I had hardly.
That's
I was
fair.
broke until I got that amulet coin. Basically, I
Yo,
spent
Yelp had that
like
streak
8
cred.
Pokeballs trying to catch a bag cargo.
Okay, but you didn't hit that Macargo because you were afraid you were gonna kill it when it's a freaking Macargo, and you had
Yeah.
like no water moves.
But still,
No, it's because you.
I was like
you
way
killed
higher
one
level than
encounter
it.
by accident, and then you were like, "All right, I'm gonna chuck
It's a
Pokeballs
Macargo.
at this Macargo at full health and see how that goes."
Anyway, all I
I'm
have to
just
say
saying.
is, out of all
Like,
of my
that one I'll hold
encounters,
you for, but the rest were kind of eh.
I'm
Out
just
of-
saying, out of all of us, only one of us watched the Pokemon catching tutorial, and only one of us failed the most at catching Pokemon.
I think I might have failed the most, actually.
Did you
Ruins
miss
joke.
like? Wait, let me count. 1, 2,
Oh,
3,
he's pulling
4,
up that
5,
spreadsheet.
6 encounters out of 10.
I did not. Cannot say I did.
At least
That's
you
what I
left you
thought.
the Twin Leaf Town encounter.
Did anyone do the Twin Leaf Town encounter?
TCP did. I think
Yeah,
that
I
was.
did that. That's
like
where I
after
got.
me losing so many encounters,
either
I just left
Cricketune
the
or
rest for
Bombas now.
TCP.
That was Obama Snow. But
Okay.
I remember that
Yeah.
Actually, I caught a lot of mons.
because I went back and that was the first mon I captured, and I was so hyped for Big Bad Brad, the Obama Snow, to make it to the end, carry me the whole way there, and
And then he
then
died.
First death.
first death, Big Bad Brad to the crit Ember from a cast form.
He would have died to an ember either way.
No!
It's a
It
cast
hurt
form.
me. I lived at 7 HP. It burned me, and the burn killed me. So, I would have lived it if it wasn't a crit or if it wasn't a burn.
What's the chance for Ember to burn anyway? Isn't it like 10%?
Probably.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
don't know. This boy's
No, I
not
think it was a
right
little
now.
higher. Oh no, it is 10.
Honestly, I don't use Ember enough to,
Gosh,
Just
doesn't even play
clearly unskilled.
in-game fire types starter.
let's see,
Gosh.
Ember is a 10% to burn.
Wow,
So,
unfort.
6% chance and a 10% chance on top of that. So there was like a 0.6% chance of that outcome happening in Obama Snow dying.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we had our favorite death of the entire run. Cricketune finally dies.
Wow.
To the witness.
If Cricketune hadn't died, my PO would have banned.
No. You didn't even do it on purpose. You left Rhyperion on a Starmie.
No. Wanna know what I would have done?
It does no H, Brett.
No. Wanna know what I
No,
would have
there-
done? I would have benched Rhyperior. I'm not gonna lie.
We're just bashing our shitty starter.
It was
Honestly,
pretty
he has
bad,
no moves.
honestly.
Honestly, Brett had pretty bad luck. I definitely had bad luck. Like,
Like, the only good thing that came out of my episode was Melone. Cherim.
Oh yeah, Melone was lit.
Honestly,
Yeah,
Cherim
yeah.
was amazing until Peaches decided to not
Yeah.
heal and kill it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Peach.
Yeah.
I really appreciated Peach.
Oh, you're welcome.
honestly, it was foreshadowing. Peach
Honestly.
killing Melone was the reason why we lost this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Whoever killed Gator was the reason.
I'll
Oh, that
own
was
that.
This whole thing.
Brad killed
What
Gator.
happened to Blastoise, by the way?
Alright, I'm not allowed to blame it on Brad, so yeah, I'm sorry. Peach.
That's fine. No, I'll own the fact that like I pretty much outright killed Melone because I was just being dumb and not using healing items. I had pretty good luck in my run.
Honestly,
Like I only had one death that I really couldn't prevent.
honestly, out of all of us, it was very shaky until it got to that Tyranitar. It felt like to me.
Well, we
That
didn't have a
Tyranitar
good
was
team.
Amazing.
That Tyranitar was like the first good mon we got.
Like Swallow is okay in the early game.
I think. How did Blastoise do?
I don't think Blastoise was really on the team much.
Blastoise was great for me. It basically like carried me through my gym.
Oh, and somebody killed it.
Kill Blastoise.
Probably bad. Wait, no. It
No.
definitely lived through Brad's part.
Yeah, no, Brad.
Look at
Did he kill
Blastoise.
it?
Brad had Gator die.
Cody didn't lose any mons, so
Wait.
Is he
What?
the only one that didn't lose any?
Okay, well I've only seen Brad's first part so far with the golem, so I don't.
Oh my god, Golem was a
Cody
freaking
didn't lose
monster.
any, and you didn't lose any, Brad.
Yeah, I
right?
think Blastoise died.
Yeah, I
Or
didn't
he
lose any
replaced
either.
it. I mean, I'm watching Brad's video because he starts out with Blastoise and then he
No,
just
he puts
doesn't.
in the PC because he doesn't want to have two water types.
Yeah, he puts
Ah.
Blastoise
So
away,
he has
takes
Gator
out
out.
Gator, and then Gator dies to Golem later on.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's on that.
That golem thing was so sad because I mean I mentioned this to him after, but if he didn't lead Tyranitar and get up the sandstorm, it probably would have died the water gun. Because that's the death buff.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. That started in Gen 4.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Was it not Gen 3? I don't remember.
Hmm?
Rock type Spadef buff in the sandstorm?
I threw a lot of shade at one of the things I threw shade at was I was in a video. Probably it was.
I
But
threw shade at everyone I was watching, including myself, so.
I never threw any shade. I'm a good boy.
so much shade came everywhere from me, and one of them was, I gave you 100 Pokeballs, Matt.
Yeah. So,
Pokeballs aren't good for catching legendaries with a
but not for catching
capture
Mesprit.
rate.
Mesprit
Wait, let me look up
struggled
something.
to death. That was hilarious.
That was bad, honestly.
It really was.
I think what I really want to know is how does a Hitmonlee die to a Baneri?
By missing jump kick twice.
But why use jump kick when you had like karate chop or something?
It
I
was
wanted to say
great.
PP.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know why you were using jump kick to grind. That sounds spooky to me. And
So
why
Mes-
you would click it again after missing once?
Mesprit is one of the is tied for the highest catch rate in the game.
Yeah, with all the other legendaries that have free, like
Mm-hmm.
okay.
All the legendaries.
yeah,
And Metang and Bot and it goes on
and the
top.
pseudo.
But honestly though, Tyranitar carried everything.
Oh yeah. From what I've heard.
Every part, I don't know what Blake's part was like, but I'm assuming that. Oh wait, no,
You know what my guess is from Blake's part?
Blake
so-
didn't use Tyranitar.
Yeah,
Blake
so
was-
here's the thing. I put Tyranitar on the PC after my gym because it was a water gym. I didn't want to use Tyranitar. And I know Brad started his part seeing Tyranitar on the PC. I'm just assuming Blake never looked in the PC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I don't
never
think
looked
you
at
did.
the PC.
Even when he put Illuminion in the depth box, it must have been at the end of the episode. That
I
just,
mean, we'll never get that footage, but
we never will. It's a shame.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
yeah.
Well,
I mean, how do you know we'll never get it?
Well, maybe we would.
what if
Yeah.
this is like a really long part and he just like left it going? He's like, oh, I forgot to turn the recording off, but he didn't cut it down and he's just still uploading it to this day.
Like has his own private channel.
That's why his computer broke. Filled up his hard drive with video footage. It just corrupted the whole hard drive.
Oh,
No,
my
no, what? Speaking of Mesprit, well, I know it would have been really sad.
Hmm.
Blood instantly.
Oh lord.
Because Mesprit flees in the game.
that would be a little upsetting.
I would be sitting there like, okay, I'm leaving and going upstairs.
So TCP, even though
Yeah.
you had to sack Cricketune, how did it feel to have a freaking Regice just explode in your face?
Honestly, I forgot Regis got explosion.
Do you know how many times I reminded you that the Reggies get explosion?
Have you never seen that Emerald Nuzlocke meme?
Honestly,
I even mentioned it.
I was just shook from Obama Snow, and I wasn't really thinking about.
I was shook from Cricketune.
Hey, no, wait a second, wait a second.
Oh, here he goes.
No, Matt.
What are you gonna say?
Cricketune. You were shook that Cricketune died before it came to you.
Yes.
And I will say, there was a little bit of hope in my heart that Cricketune could be a little bit good because it was fully evolved at the second gym.
No. Cricketune
No,
is
you
amazing.
just straight up threw it out.
No, Cricketune amazing. Do you know what?
And I threw it
I'm on
out.
the ninth. I'm at the Elite Four, just a Cricketune. My solo run of Cricketune.
God, imagine starting your part and seeing a
Wait a
Pokemon
second
named
here.
after you in the death box, eh, Malone?
I had.
There
I
was
had
two of me in
Rhyperior-
there.
I believe I had Rhyperior out in front, and
I
was
would have
thinking,
preferred anything else had died.
Ice-type. It's going to use an ice type move. I hadn't trained up Kabuto or Tentacool yet, so
At,
right
like,
now
level
my
5?
party is Rhyperior, Cricketune, Dodrio, Meowth, and Cherim.
Did anyone ever
And
go back?
I
to
wasn't
the
switching
honey?
anything into an ice type move except for Cricketune. Because you aren't telling me that Meowth is more bulky than Cricketune.
No,
I
but
thought-
my is.
Yeah, but it's weak against ice, isn't it? Am I
Yeah.
It still has a better chance to live than a Cricketune.
That's
Yeah,
probably
it has a
true.
better chance of living explosion, but not icy wind at like.
Yeah,
40
I
hours.
still think Icy Windy has a better chance.
I'm just saying, Cricketune ate the icy wind, and
He
I
did.
thought I would have a chance to potentially catch it, so I didn't. I
It
don't
wasn't
think
your
I tried
first
to run.
encounter.
Yeah, I don't. No,
Yeah,
it was
no,
the
it
first
was.
encounter.
Because it species clause, because I ran into a Snover, and that just salted me up more.
I don't know why
So-
TCP thinks we're gonna be catching legendaries out here with just Pokeballs and nothing to put anything to sleep. or
Because
anything.
I've caught like every single legendary I've ever caught with Pokeballs.
Yeah, that was like in the end game of like a normal playthrough, not like in
Yeah.
the early game of a randomizer Nuzlocke.
Yeah, I don't have that opinion.
Always lucky.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
why
gonna
that's why
give
you
it a
lost your
shot.
Pokemon in your part.
Okay. Tentacle was a mistake.
Oh, because you grinded.
Cricketune was a mistake.
Yes.
And Abomasnow, I did not expect.
Unlucky. That was just plain unlucky. You
Oh, I
said
lost.
that earlier. We literally just talked about that.
Yeah.
You had like a point. What was it like? 6%?
0.6.
0.6%
Yeah.
chance to die, and it died. That's what we call unlucky.
Yeah, that's what we call you're bad.
That too.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
So
I don't want to get flamed.
So Matt, whenever you started your episode, you had to do it in 2 takes because your mic, you didn't record your mic, correct?
I recorded the wrong mic,
Oh, okay.
and I watched the footage. I sounded like I was on the other side of my room,
Oh Lord. So how would
so I redid it.
how would your episode have ended up if that didn't happen and you didn't have to redo it?
Oh, I lost no mods.
You lost none. Did you
Are you
catch
just saying
the
that to
Mesprit?
impress us, or?
No, I literally lost nothing.
Did you catch the Mesprit?
No,
Oh, did it struggle
Sat
then
through
too?
that twice?
it's struggled as well.
Oh my god.
When will you learn?
But what do you mean? What will I learn?
So technically, we failed catching 4 legendaries.
Okay, it's.
Well,
to
I
be
mean,
fair,
you
Pokeballs.
could have still tried on Arceus.
Wait, no.
There's nothing I could- there's nothing I could-
catching 5. 6 technically, if you're counting the other Mesprit.
Because
like.
Okay, I don't know how.
There's a difference
Arceus
between
wasn't
what I
really
did.
a fail. That was a give up.
Well, do you think I wanted? I literally was 20 Pokeballs in. It had way more PP than Mesprit. I'm pretty sure.
How many
like,
Pokeballs do you have left?
I don't know, like 40.
That's all.
Like
That's
I
40
feel like
40
sitting
chances.
there.
for Arceus to help stop people like, I don't know, someone in the future from dying.
You know, someone would kill Arceus. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah, but,
hilarious
like-
if someone killed Arceus.
No, I'll tell you exactly what would have killed
I'm-
It would
Arceus.
have
Cody.
happened.
I-
You
I'm
know
just
it would have
saying,
happened. There's no way.
I'm just
Arceus
saying.
would have died because we would have over relied on it.
I'm
Well,
just
here's
saying.
the thing. I wasn't
Well, we
grinding
ended up
it out.
relying on
Blake didn't
Tyranitar
grind
anyways.
it out.
Yeah.
Brad went into his part grinded after, like,
I'm just saying, over relying on an Arceus makes it for it to be a lot easier than over relying on a Tyranitar because
okay,
a
I didn't
Tyranitar has a
over rely on
4 times
Tyranitar.
weakness.
I
It's
didn't
like
even use
picking
it for
two
my gym.
really good things to rely on. And
That is
I
fair. Like,
by the end of my episode, I barely had anything, so I didn't see a reason for me to grind. Even if I grinded picks, I didn't have a Firestone, and there was something else where it's like, I think it was Kabuto, and I thought to myself, I could grind you up, but I already have Blastoise, and what's the point? Because you're gonna it's still gonna be a Kabuto and be weaker than Blastoise.
yeah.
But yeah, Kabuto is kind of like useless at that point in the game.
Yeah, Kabuto was pointless.
So it makes sense that there is nothing for you to grind. And it makes sense that
I would have been
Peach
really
didn't feel
overpowered.
like he needed to grind for Blake. It makes sense that Blake grinded for Brad. It makes sense that Brad grinded after losing a bunch of months to Golem.
But Blake didn't grind. I thought that was our consensus.
Did he?
I think he did.
I don't think his mods were like very similar level when the episode started.
Well, he
I
caught a
feel it.
Croconaut and he evolved.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. I guess that's fair. Yeah.
And he also grinded up the Glaceon he caught, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So he grind up the things he caught. Okay.
Yeah.
That, like, immediately died the next episode. Okay.
I was about to ask a question, then I realized, wait, I was the one who lost. And I was gonna ask who lost Meowth.
Meowth was really good in
Honestly-
my episode, honestly.
Yeah,
Meowth? I had to box Meowth because it was literally the weakest mon by the end of my episode.
You were praising it in the beginning, and then like 23 minutes in, you were like, "Ah, Meowth sucks. Why would anyone use this?"
And then, like, when I'm picking my team, like, I got to pick, like, who did I want to keep? It was like picking between very bad things. Like, do I want this shit or that shit?
I mean, that's the fun part about randomizers and Nuzlocks and randomizer Nuzlocks. Like, you don't like. It's not like the regular in-game playing where you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get the starter, the broken bird, the fucking electric thing that everyone
Let's calm
uses."
down. The broken bird, that works for most games except for the black and white.
Black and white.
I
Freaking
mean,
Pidove
yeah.
sucked. It
Yeah.
was so bad.
Okay, all the birds in black and white suck, but like, I mean, like all the other games, the bird's pretty
But
much
you can
like
get
broken
extra
or
drill.
overused.
You can get drill bird, which is fun.
Okay. Well, yeah,
That's also all the runners do it.
you know what I'm talking about. Like generic bird.
Yes.
Or
Like cricketing.
what?
So what all happened in Cody's part, TCP?
Okay, I'll explain what happened in Cody's part. So, Cody took over, and we pretty much beelined the story. We did I forget what it was. We did the lakes. We went to all the lakes. That was pretty much, we beelined the first 2 lakes, and they were pretty much no problem. And so, we started doing encounters, right? So there was a lakefront that we had to do. Honestly, Cody was talking the whole time about his encounters, talking about how he was not going to get anything good because honestly, everyone before him, like the only I would say good encounters for that point in the game were like Tyranitar, Articuno, Blastoise.
Wait, Blastoise wasn't an account. It was a fossil.
Well,
Oh yeah.
like Mons like Swalot was falling off the power curve like hard.
Mm-hmm.
Mons like other Mons were dead. So Cody was pretty much Tyranitar in front, carrying it as everyone should, probably. He refused to use the Articuno. Like, that man hated Articuno.
Wow.
Wow.
That's rude.
Did he box it?
So, the first encounter we found was a Regirock. And it didn't have explosion, by the way.
And then TCP had PTSD.
And I tried to get him to catch it, and we couldn't catch it because it cursed up to +5, and it was like, that was a bit scary. But we were talking about it. He's going.
Oh, so it's okay that he gives up on a legendary.
Well, yeah, if it's gonna two-shot everything in your party, yeah. Like, you're not gonna trade a Tyranitar for a Regirock. So, we were moving on. So for the you know that big like snowy area where it's like you're
Yes.
moving slow through the snow and there's like
That
trainers like
sucked. I went through that more than I
I love
needed
that
to.
area. It's cool. I hate that you slow down, but like it's still cool.
Cody went on. We went to the right side and we walked up and we dodged like every single trainer, and we got to the next encounter and it was I believe the next one was a Shogun, and he caught the Shogun. And that's pretty good. Shogun in the late game for maybe like if Bash decides to grind it up, that's going to be Salamence. And that's like the victory right there if Bash decides to grind up. And then he goes into the grass, the final encounter, Route 217. And an Articuno shows up. And Cody, hating Articuno, goes, I already have an Articuno. I don't want an Articuno. And here I am going to Cody. Wait, no, this is when he got Shogun. Starmie was the encounter before. I was going to Cody. Cody, that's an Articuno. That's way above average. You can definitely catch it. And he's like, no, I'm gonna just go to the next encounter. It's dupes. And then the next one is Shogun. So lucky. And he made it all the way to the end. And finally, at the gym, I remember this. We were a bit under-leveled for the gym, I would say. I don't know. Tyranitar was about a good level. And in the gym, it was a Psychic-type gym, so Tyranitar was all he needed. And he killed like 5 different legendaries.
Oh my god.
Like, there are so many Psychic legendaries. And we killed like all of them.
Well, yeah, the generation added like 4.
Yeah. We killed like a Lugia, we killed like Mews, we killed like 2 Mewtwo's, we killed like
Sounds like you had a good time.
Noxie. Yeah. It was a good old time.
Speaking of Starmie, do you think it's the same one that killed Viperia?
Maybe.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, it's you idiots! How did Cody react to him being named the character?
Cody? I don't remember how he reacted.
They even noticed? Like, they just assume it was a normal name?
No, he definitely noticed because we read out the dialogue for the Lake storyline.
No,
Whenever
Is it
we had
what-
initially chosen people for the tag lock, Cody wasn't chosen initially. And after I did my episode, I told him that he was there in spirit because I named the trainer after him, and he sent a heart back, if I remember correctly.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
it's Cody.
And then after one thing led to another, he was brought in after someone dropped out, or I don't
I
remember.
think Zombie.
Zombie
Yeah.
dropped out.
Oh yeah, it was zombie.
People dropped
And then Cody was brought in, so that's how Cody got into the tag lock.
I wish we got Bash here. He could talk about what could have been.
Oh yeah, because he never played this
Now,
part.
as of the time of recording this, we know what happened in Malone's part.
Mm-hmm.
We've spoken about it many times.
Yeah,
we've
it's
spoken
kind of
about
been something around our discussion so far.
Yeah, we've already mentioned it a few times in this podcast. But Malone, why don't you tell us about your part?
It was terrible.
I like how we talked about the first 2 parts and then we skipped to like the last 2 parts.
I enjoyed like
Brad's not
5% of it, like maybe 5%, because I haven't played this game before.
What?
So
Yeah, I
many
know.
People haven't played Platinum. That's
What's
But
wrong
in my
with you
defense,
all?
like I did, dude. You realize
It's the
I didn't
best game in the series.
I didn't play this game until like a year before the ASL. less than a year before the ASL.
Okay, that's different than not playing the game before.
When we do this,
Well,
when we
he
do
has
this
to
next
play
offseason,
Pokemon, not Platinum.
Like I didn't
Oh.
get into the
What?
game until Pokemon in general,
That's
until
crazy.
like maybe it was like not Sun and Moon. I'm stupid. X and Y
So like
was the
I mean,
newest
that's
game.
when a lot of people got into it, but like, that's still wild.
But it was literally the first game that I ever played of Pokemon.
the first
Huh.
Pokemon game I played was.
Well, actually, the first game I played was. What's important is that I was new and I hadn't played the game. And then I was put into a terrible situation. I'm already forgetting a lot of it. I remember I had the first big goof was Ludicolo now.
Oh, Ludicolo made it.
Wait,
Ludicolo's still.
what?
I had Ludicolo on my
That thing
team.
was in the box the whole time.
Yeah, and I don't know, but it was on my.
What?
Cody must have put that on the team.
He looked at it and said, "Yes, I need this."
I think
So
that was
basically,
because said
I
Ludicolo
get to the
was good.
shrine, right? Like, I do all this stuff, I get lost. It takes me like 3 hours at least. I get to the shrine before the guillotine. Ludicolo and Altaria both died a crit that mattered. Then Swallow, like, Swallow just dies, because Swallow's garbage. But Ludicolo dies to a crit that mattered, I swear. And so did Altaria. And so I go into the thing because it made me, like it was a cutscene. So and two of my deaths, Ludicolo and Altaria, both died in the battle, so I couldn't change. So I go in the cutscene, it makes me go in the portal, and then it wouldn't let me go back out. So I was trapped in the thing with 3 mons. And that was... What was it? It was Shelgon, Luxray, and frickin' Tyranitar. And I'm trapped in there.
Wait. Was Articuno not on the squad? Or did
No,
Articuno die?
Articuno was the one mine that died before, because I just...
Oh.
It also got crit, but that's not important.
Yeah, like,
Basically,
you lost a legendary, not important.
yeah, not important. I'm in there with three mods. So I like do all this stuff, takes me a while because I don't know what I'm doing. And then I get to Cyrus, and it's like, oh, a mono ground team. Would you look at that?
Sounds
And then
familiar.
I kill all of them. And then I get down to Gliscor. And I just can't touch it. And the thing that sucked is that literally the battle before, like earlier, I replaced Ice Fang on Tyranitar with Earthquake.
I was about to say, what? Oh.
Literally like the battle before. So I tried to stall it out and I couldn't. And I literally had it. It was down to Gliscor. I had to sack Luxray to heal up Tyranitar a little bit. And all I needed to do was Shelgon. Like, all Shelgon needed to do was hit Dragon whatever. I forget what it was. All I needed to do was hit it, and then it was in range for Tyranitar. And then all of a sudden it happened. Guillotine.
Oh.
And then it was over.
And you could have missed that too, and he would have just struggled to death. That's
Gliscor doesn't get any ground type moves.
Yeah, I don't think it does. It gets like sand attack by level up.
It gets like.
I don't even think
I
it hits
forget what
that.
it had, but it had something that killed Tyranitar.
I think it gets much loud.
I'm like 90% sure it doesn't learn Earthquake by level up. I'll
No,
check
it doesn't.
that.
It doesn't learn Earthquake.
I'm,
At least, in,
Gliscor?
at least in normal games, it doesn't.
Gliscor
I'm
learns
looking right.
Earthquake.
Yeah, the only ground type move it learns by level up is Sand Attack. Earthquake requires TM.
Mm-hmm.
Mud Slap and Earth Power are move tutors. Sand Tomb is an egg move. Yeah, it literally only would have been Sand Attack.
Oh dang.
Strange mon.
Yeah, that is
Doesn't
very strange.
learn its stat by level up. Kind of like how Garchomp doesn't learn Earthquake by level up for some.
That's what? Doesn't?
Nope,
That's dumb.
it really is. It's funny because the Gibble are in the cave where you normally get Earthquake in the game.
Kind of what they expect you to do.
Yeah, well, yeah. But like,
It had X Scissor, that's what it was.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's a move that gets by level up. Yeah.
And a
looking at it.
2-shot T-tar.
Oh, it had, from the looks of it, it had sword stance, U-turn, X scissor, guillotine.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So it could have SD'd and just fucking murdered T-tar like that. Yeah, that's kind of oof.
Big. Oof. And it never got to bash.
Yeah, didn't get to bash at all. I mean, he wouldn't have been able to do it anyway because he couldn't use the sume. So we would've had-
Let's keep Bash's integrity in check. Don't call him out like that.
I don't think that's allowed.
Wait,
I think we could have figured out a way to.
Let's just say Bash would have made it work. Maybe.
Maybe.
I already can foresee some like meme TCP video where he's like changing his voice. He's like, "Hey guys, we're gonna play the last part of the ASL taglock with me, Bash." Like doing a voice.
With me,
How did the
bash
Blake episode go
CP.
again?
Wait, what? How did what go again?
The Blake episode.
Oh,
We didn't get to see it.
wow.
Did you watch like the mock-up that he made? That was like half a recap of my episode.
Wow.
And him being salty with me.
Yeah.
Thank God that didn't happen to me.
Hey, I knew the content from your episode. I had the only thing I knew was that Luminion was the mon to die, was the only mon that died in the mons that he captured. So I
We
was.
did capture him.
Wait,
no,
did you know it was a grottle that he killed, or?
no. I just made up a mon. I was like, Grottle's the first one I could think of.
Okay, I was about to say.
So, spoilers. Grottle was not the mon in the what is it? Whatever cave it is.
It probably like exploded and killed a minion or something. Let's be real.
Ruin Maniac Cave. Grotto was probably not the mon that was in that cave. But going into it, it was like the video had to go out soon, and it's Brett and I, and we're like, what we're doing. I was like, don't worry, Brett, I'll make a script, and it'll be great. And of course, because it's me making a script, I have to call out you, Peaches.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a given. You call me out at every given opportunity.
Yeah. I have to throw. I have a mandatory amount of shade that I have to throw out in every taglock episode, and that was.
I can't wait to see Cody's part where you're just talking to, "Yeah, we don't have an Arceus."
I don't think I talked about it much because I had to lead Cody how to get to the places.
Yeah, notice how he says much. He definitely mentioned it.
I don't remember. That was like weeks ago. I don't remember everything I said.
Weeks ago. Wasn't that
I probably
horrible?
mentioned it during the Reggie Rock fight because that was a long
like
drawn out
Peaches and
fight.
not catch the legendary. 3%. Free capture rate.
But I don't know. Oh yeah, Blake's fight. All I knew was that he had to grind before Crasher Wake because he said that he had to do that, and all the mons he got.
More like Crasher Blake.
So I'm coming up with a story, and I'm like, I can just talk about Peach's part and like talk about myself, and I love talking about myself. So I was like, oh, that's gonna be great. I'll just call myself fabulous and amazing and great. And then I'll just start talking about Blake's part and just like get through it pretty fast, and then we'll be done.
You really let this man be on the YouTube team.
So I start talking about myself, and it's great.
Fabulous.
Brett read over it beforehand, and he said it was a-okay. I think.
Yeah, I allowed it.
God.
And we started. And this time I was the narrator, and Brett was my helpful Blake.
I was Blake. Oh, spoiler alert! I am Blake now, so that's a thing.
Why didn't you upload your part?
I gotta go.
That's a got him.
But I think the only part we haven't talked about is Brad's part. The longest part.
I mean,
Oh
we
my
didn't
God,
talk
it's
about
so
the ins and
long.
outs of mine. We only talked about how I killed Melone and didn't catch Arceus.
I mean, that's the only important part.
Wow, okay.
Kill
So,
Malone.
Not
So in-
talking about, like, my other things that I got that just end up saying the PC.
were you guys
no,
in call with
maybe-
Brad while he was doing his episode?
No.
No.
Why
I
didn't
offered
you
to
should
call
have?
him
You
and
guys
he
should have
didn't.
gone and called with me when I did. Episode.
You should
Honestly,
have asked.
I finished it later. I didn't finish it that night because I had like 7 different recordings because Bash made me rush, and then it ended up being useless because he couldn't even do it.
Yeah.
honestly, it's probably the play for us to be there with you if you had never played the game before.
It was.
Yeah, if you didn't, like, I've played that game like 5 or 6
Because-
times, I mentioned.
Distortion World is definitely the
Oh god, I
part that can take the longest.
But I didn't get into Distortion World for a while.
Yeah,
Well,
and
no.
there's all Spear
But the
Pillar.
Distortion World wasn't even the confusing part for me. The confusing part was like I didn't know anything about the lake, so I had no idea where I was supposed to go. And then I had to figure out like by like looking up like, oh, I have to go to the last lake. And then
Taglocks. You don't know what you're
it
doing.
was just
Oh, did you just fly from Snowpoint City?
we're just gonna ignore that I didn't realize that.
Oh my.
feel like
Well, I
it
mean,
was
I guess that's fair because you didn't play before, and like, he didn't really leave you with story. Like, I didn't leave my gym for that purpose. Like, I went to the front entrance that way. I didn't have to like the next person didn't have to walk all the way out. It was just like, but I knew there was a like cutscene as soon as you exit my gym.
Yeah.
If
For
we did it
that-
with a game that I knew though, then I probably would have done a lot better. Or at least done it faster.
Malone, do yourself a favor and just like go play a platinum ROM at some point this summer.
I mean, you can just finish.
Just like normally.
I probably should. Or
It's
just
a really
watch,
good game.
Just watch it.
Nah.
Watch the King Nappies playthrough.
No. No.
If you're gonna watch any platinum playthrough, just watch Chugga Conroy, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably the best.
Yeah, I watched him when I was confused
Nice.
for part of it.
So Brad's part was the longest part, and in the first episode, probably the most iconic thing that happened in that episode was that Golem near the end killing
Yeah.
I think it was 3 of his mons. I think it killed
Yeah.
it killed Gator. It killed
Dodrio.
Dodrio, and then one other. I don't remember the last one.
Glaceon? Yeah, Glaceon.
Yeah. it
Oh,
was Glacier.
Brennan and I have a story about this.
We do.
We do.
Okay.
I'll tell it. Because apparently you don't have the story. So this was like. Keep in mind, me
Oh yeah, he was DMing us. Like we were in a
Are
group chat. And he
helping-
was DMing us about his part.
are helping him out a little bit. Like we're helping him out because this is like the first time he's recording Desmume and with OBS.
And
So
it's
we
been a
have-
while since he played Platinum too. He got a little lost at the beginning.
And he calls us. I think we're like, me and Peach were already talking in the call, and he calls us, and I joined the call, and he's like, "So, some mons may be dead."
Is that what he
maybe-
told you about Golem?
Maybe there's 3 mons dead, and Peach was like, "I don't want to know the mons that died," and I
Yeah, and
was
then I
like,
asked him for the mons that died after.
I was like, "I want to know the mons," and then Peach eventually got peer pressured into knowing the mons, and
Well, at that point, I looked at his episode too when it was in the file folder.
he was telling us a story, and he's like, "So, Golem kind of destroyed me, and its coverage of Rock and Ground is pretty much beat everything on the team after somehow a Feraligatr died to it. I haven't actually watched that. It happened live.
So, I mean, I can tell you. The thing is, I forget, he was fighting a Pupitar before that? Yeah. And the Pupitar was, like, scary facing his Feraligatr, so he was worried it was going to be slower than Golem, which it probably was. And it was at low half. It was, like, at, like, a third or something. So he switched it out, and he needed to heal it, and then I mean, and I guess the main thing after that, like I don't think he was able to get to full health, and the fact that Tyranitar's Sandstorm was giving Golem that Spadef buff, and his strongest move for it was Water Gun. He just couldn't kill it one hit.
And then for Alligator died.
Yeah, and Earthquake just did a shit ton of damage too.
Yeah.
It, like two-shot him.
Unfortunate. But hey, at least he caught a legendary.
Yeah, the Articuno didn't
Well,
last too
That
long.
just
though.
goes to show why I didn't like ever want to lead Tyranitar when I was using it, because I knew that Sandstorm could screw me over.
I think the moral of the story is that we can blame Cody because if Cody had led Articuno, then Melone would have led Articuno, and then wouldn't have led Tyranitar.
So this is all Cody's fault.
Everything bad happened because of Tyranitar, but everything good happened because of Tyranitar too. So,
Honestly,
Like a double-edged sword.
it's literally
what
it
does that
was.
say about Tyranitar?
I didn't know who Tyranitar was.
Titanic R.
Titanic, that's what he is. Now the preview for this episode needs to be like the Titanic boat, but with like Tyranitar's like face on the prow, and like it's just running towards a giant iceberg, and that iceberg is like Golem or something, or Regice.
I will go on.
There we go. That's your homework, TCP.
Bring back the
Yeah, I
memes.
won't do that.
Oh my.
Brett's the actual talented artist.
Oh
artiste.
God, making me do it.
Yeah,
But you make memes.
I do.
Yeah, but I do make memes.
You do make the
Just make some
biggest
memes.
memes.
Don't
you
steal
steal
memes.
as well.
Don't let
He
your
definitely
memes be
steals
dreams.
memes. Look in the ASL Shenanigans channel right now.
So, I guess with things coming to a close, I can mention what I did. So it might have been me trolling Peach a bit, and I might have saw him literally 15 minutes before we were going to start post a meme,
Oh, you're actually talking about this.
and I may have accidentally reposted his meme and deleted his meme.
I mean, if that's not accidentally, I don't know what it is.
Accidentally.
Melone supports me on this. He called him out. Like, he brought it to my attention.
Potentially.
No. It was a big accident.
You know it's not even a meme TCP would have found on his own because it's from Twitter.
Over. Brendan got mad over a simple accident, and he's calling me out now. That's the moral of the story.
Didn't you bring it to attention though?
We don't talk about that. Anyways.
Yeah, I just
He
mentioned it
wanted
now
to get
because
caught.
you were being bad.
Alright, so that's probably
So-
gonna do it for this podcast here. We talked
This is the
about.
last time we're doing a tag lock. We're never doing.
I mean,
I'd
we
be
may
so
do
down.
another
We should
one.
do it again. We should.
We should do a
definitely
tag
it
lock.
again.
We'll do.
I was
We'll
saying
prob-
other ideas, like we could do a little like race thing between like
That's what I was.
however many people.
We'll discuss this once the podcast ends.
Yeah, we'll definitely have something else coming for
There'll
next
be something in the
offseason.
future.
But
Yay.
that's gonna do it for this
Mystery
podcast.
Dungeon.
Thank you,
No.
thank all of you.
Playing
Yes.
Mystery Dungeon.
Mystery
No.
Dungeon. PMD best spinoff.
All right. Anyway, this is gonna do it for this podcast. Thank
obviously
you guys
not.
so
let's
much
play
for
Pokemon
watching.
Ranger.
The Ranger Nuzlocke.
Pokemon Ranger is definitely better than Mystery Dungeon.
Hello, no way.
Yes.
No,
Which one?
Yes.
We're just
Alright,
not
alright.
gonna let Brett do the outro.
Yeah, Brett's not doing the outro. We're not done with this podcast.
We're gonna drag it out.
We've taken this podcast.
I mean,
hostage.
I'm just gonna cut all this out anyway.
What? No.
What?
Wait,
No.
what?
Why?
I'm not gonna have
Why?
me trying to end it 4 times in a row.
But
Please.
No, that's the
But the
Okay,
memes.
that's kind of fair.
Brett, TCB, you can't put a stop to the.
Just do the outro.
If I start
Just
doing it
go-
again, y'all are gonna keep talking. I could just hold on. I'll just mute all of y'all. Hold on.
no, wait.
Oh, he's
No.
muting us.
Oh no.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This is the end of the podcast. I had to mute all of them so that I could do this. We're gonna start doing this now because I think it's time. But we're gonna start taking questions for us to answer in the podcast. if you have a question for the podcast, please email aslytchannel@gmail.com. Your question, topic, or whatever you want us to talk about for the podcast. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time.